Hi, I'm Priya Rao with the First Weekend Club, and I have a slew of folks here to talk to. First of all, we have Jenny Lewis and Sarah Kay, fantastic casting directors here in Toronto. And then we have the director of Manhattan Dying. Manhattan Undying. The Manhattan Dying is another film that I'm working on. Manhattan Undying is currently in post-production, and it's Babak Payami.
Very nice to meet you. Good afternoon.
Were you about to shake my hand?
I was about to shake your hand. No, I was about
this
to
one.
get a fly off my forehead.
Let's talk about the casting process. That's not something we get to discuss often. So what is that process like when you have something in your head and you have to find it? Was that a difficult process for you before you brought these ladies on?
Difficult process indeed, and of course it makes it easier when you have a competent casting director who understands the process and narrows down and makes the auditions much more relevant, and it becomes much smoother.
Jenny and Sarah, do you approach a project like the Manhattan Undying differently than you would something like Passchendaele?
I think you approach each project differently because it depends on your director's vision. So when you connect with them and understand what it is, we like to say that we help a director articulate their vision. I'd like to think that each director has a different vision for their film, except maybe if it's blockbusters and sequels. So yes, those you just sort of do it by rote. It's about the face, just being right for the part, or maybe they wear the actual uniform they need to the audition and people are like, oh, hire them, they already have the wardrobe. But yes, it's a creative process. So every time it's a different approach.
And Sarah, you've been in this business for a number of years now. Let's not date ourselves, but a number of years is enough said. Have you found a change in the overall breadth of talent in this country?
I mean, I think in this city alone, we have amazingly talented actors, and I think we are never short on finding good people for the part. I think, yes, we've come a long way. Certainly, there are so many more actors. It keeps building and building. Everybody seems to be coming out of school, and there are so many talented, new, fresh faces. So we're never really at a loss, unless someone's being very specific about something, in which case maybe we have to look a little bit harder, but usually there's sort of just so many to choose from. We get like 300 submissions. We have to pick 8 people to bring in, so you can imagine those odds are pretty high.
And when you do get a script, do you automatically, because you've been doing this for so long, do you just have an idea of, I know exactly the 10 people or whatever number that I want to bring in for this part? Or are you sometimes surprised by the submissions you get?
Definitely surprised by the submissions we get. We try and think outside the box when we're casting, so we like to not always bring the obvious choice. And I think the agents have learned that that's the way we think. So sometimes they will give us more interesting ideas for a part. We sometimes cast men in parts that were written for women, or things like that. You're trying to change it up. But I think we still usually have an instinct when we read a script about who we're hoping is going to be right for the part.
And Babak, I know Manhattan Undying is currently in post, but can you just give us a snippet of what we might expect in that movie?
Well, it's a love story with a vampire genre sub-theme. I think that's enough for now.
Who doesn't love the undead? And I think I missed the memo. I should have had my sunglasses on, so that's us, First Weekend Club.